It has been a tumultuous 24 hours for the Golden State Warriors. They in this 8-game homestand, 6-2. Not bad whatsoever. An opportunity to go 7-1, but the Raptors were too good as they went wire to wire in this win over the Golden State Warriors, winning by 18 and dropping 145 on them. There were some positive developments. They obviously had to shake off the loss of Jimmy Butler in a heartbeat before hitting the road for 4 games, beginning in Dallas on Thursday. We welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors Postgame live here at the Gatehouse in Thrive City with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. It was ugly to start. They were down 28 in that second quarter, but the bench unit showed a lot of fight in that third quarter, dropping 44. They made Toronto sweat in that fourth quarter, Fezzi.
Warriors trying to bounce back after losing Jimmy Butler, one of the stars of the team. And the Toronto Raptors did not take it easy on them at all. They came in here feeling like they could not miss a shot. 60% from the three-point line. They were struggling coming into this game from shooting. 60% from the three-point line, 60% from the field. Immanuel Quickley had 40 points. The beauty of this game, though, came down to the fact that Jonathan Kuminga, with his energy, he came into the game, he made a push. For this Warriors team, this is a game that you could take a lot from. You lost the first half by 20 points, won the second half by 2 points. The bench came in and really tried to make their best push. But Toronto was already shooting and making everything in the first half, Mully.
Yeah, the Raptors came in desperate. They were really struggling coming to the game. We mentioned they weren't shooting the ball well from three-point range. They were lights out tonight. They shoot 59% from the field, 62 from 3, 22 of 22 from the line. So tonight, they got shots, they made them, they knocked them down. Give them credit for that. The Warriors, as you said, Bonte, first half was a big-time struggle. You could see the hangover from the Jimmy Butler news was evident. You could see, you could feel it. But second half, very encouraging. They won the second half by 2 points. As Fezzi said, maybe the biggest development was the impressive performance by Jonathan Kaminga. The efficiency, the energy, both offensively and defensively, and I think he lifted the entire building up. So this could be a huge development. And you saw a lot of Jimmy Butler type plays, one-on-one, getting his own shot. I thought he was patient. Really impressive for a guy that hasn't played for 16 games.
16 consecutive DNPs. Can't forget about Buddy Hield. This is the third straight game. Buddy Hield after racking up 8 straight DNPs. 6 of 6 from the three-point line as he fell. 7 of 8 from the floor with 25 points. So you get 45 from the 2 of them.
You just missed the shot making of Jimmy Butler, and you had Jonathan Kuminga, you had Buddy Hield coming into the game, hitting some big shots, running. I thought the biggest difference in the second half was the pace was just different. The Warriors were controlling the pace. Instead of taking the ball out of the basket every time, they got some stops. They were able to push it. I think they got within 9 points in the second half. That for the Warriors is really key. They were able to show that fight in the second half, and then moving forward, they found some lineups that could work together. Pat Spencer came in there, worked well with Jonathan Kuminga. D'Anthony Melton worked well with Brandon Podziemski. These are things they can try to take forward and move in the next few games.
If they didn't have that brutal first half, this would have been a game. And I think it's really encouraged. The bench, once again, scores 72 points. So it seems like they're still on track. And I think Buddy Hield, Bonte, bring him up. He's the perfect example for Jonathan to follow. Because as you said, he had a bunch of DMPs racked up in a row. He stayed ready. He's always getting his shots up, keeps himself in great physical fitness shape, and he's answered the call of duty the last 3 games. So he's the perfect guy in the short term for Jonathan Kuminga to follow, not only his preparation, but also his energy and the way he approaches each and every day.
He was nearly perfect tonight. 7 of 8 from the floor, 6 of 6 from the three-point line, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. However, you look at the other side of things. We know about Scottie Barnes. He dropped 23, 25, and 10 against the Dubs back on December 28th. And then you get Immanuel Quickley. Oh, he was cooking tonight. 40 points for the Raptors, 11 of 13 from the floor, 7 made threes in 8 attempts. Boy, he was hard to stop. Heck, he didn't even miss a free throw, Fezzi.
Does he know these rims? Because the way he was shooting the basketball tonight, I mean, Immanuel Quickley, young player in this league, but played with a lot of guts. One of the reasons why this team is making the push that they are so far. They had an incredible quick start. And he was making shots on the three-point line. I think it was 4 for 4 in the first half, 7 for 8 for the game. I think his shot making was one of the big differences. The Warriors were trying to make that push in the second half, but he just continued to make shots, get by defenders one-on-one. Just a tough stop for the Warriors.
Yeah, Quickley is an incredible NBA guard. He's got great quickness.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But when he's knocking down those shots, in the first half, let's call it like it is, they were getting wide open looks. The Warriors were in a soft zone for a while, and even the man-to-man, they were losing their man in transition. They got wide open looks. Once he knocked down a few threes, basket got big for him. But he's one of those guys he's a good enough shooter that you got to get up on him. But he's got tremendous blow-by speed, and he can finish in the paint.
A career-high 40 points for Immanuel Quickley. As we take a look at the Raptors' three-point shooting, you mentioned it, Mully. They came into this game dead last in three-point shooting. In the month of December, they were 29th. In January, they were 30th.
Man, couldn't tell.
Well, tonight, as you said, Fez, he shot nearly 62% from the three-point line, tying the season high with 21 makes from the perimeter.
I don't know what it is about playing against the Warriors, Bonte. Last time they played against the Warriors, they scored 141 points, and that was in overtime. This time, they played like they had something to prove. From the tip of this game, I felt like everybody, Scottie Barnes getting to the cup, Mamashkavili hitting shots on the perimeter. They just were on attack the whole time. They had the Warriors down 28 before you looked up, and then the Warriors were just trying to fight back the whole time.
Yeah, you get off to a good start. That basket gets big, and it happened for several of the players for the Toronto Raptors. But they had over 30 assists, and they're one of the best passing teams in the league.
42 assists,
Billy. 42. Woo! There you go. So that's over 30.
Yes, I would say so.
But you look at those clips, they're walking into those three-point shots. And, Brandon Ingram, he doesn't need any help by being wide open. Quickly, same thing. Once he gets a few open looks, the basket gets big. They got they have a really European style to me. Obviously, their coach is from Europe. But they really share the basketball. They move it around. I'm surprised they've struggled as much as they have, because if they played the Warriors every night, they'd be in the NBA Finals. They put up some big numbers, man.
Well, if Scottie Barnes played the Warriors every night, he'd win the MVP. Because you look at these numbers against the Dubs this season, 65.5%, hasn't missed a free throw. Those are nasty numbers. He's averaging a triple-double against the Dubs this season.
He plays with such versatility, and it's not from the three-point line. What he does offensively, it's all purely hustle. He's driving to the rim. He's running in transition. He's getting offensive rebounds. Last game, he had a triple-double, and he's had 2 triple-doubles in 3 games. One of the only players to do that this season. It's just incredible to watch Scottie and his improvement so far as an offensive player. Defensively, I think he won Defensive Player of the Month. So he's
October and November.
Two-way player. He's just a young talent in this league, and this is a guy that they're trying to build around for the Raptors.
Yeah, and he doesn't really shoot the three-point shot well. He only took one tonight. He's in low 30s percentage-wise, but he's got everything else. I told you last time, Bonte, last game we had with Toronto, he reminds me a lot of Scottie Pippen, a big-time all-around player. He can do everything on the basketball court, both offensively and defensively. But again, it's the efficiency numbers that really stick out individually as a team. The Warriors got 5 more field goal attempts, so they took pretty good care of the basketball. But the 59% from the field, they shot 21 of 34 from the three-point line for 62%, and 22 of 22 from the free throw line. So that just shows you, once you get a guy's confidence going, everything starts going in.
And they did capitalize off the Warriors' turnover, scoring 34 points off the Dubs. 18 miscues there. They got out on a break, 21-5. They were up 15-0 when it came to fast break points in the first half. But Toronto, they keep rolling here. Well, let's discuss Jonathan Kuminga, because we haven't seen him in 16 games.
All right, get it out my system.
Get it out your system.
Go ahead. I got it.
He was back in full effect. He was clear for takeoff tonight, beginning in the second quarter. Didn't play in the first. Got off to a rough start in the first half, 4 minutes and 59 seconds. But once he caught his rhythm there in the third quarter, you see what he did there, Mully. 20 points, 7 to 10 from the floor, 21 minutes, 5 rebounds. Fezzi, you were down there in the tunnel. He electrified this Chase Center crowd.
This is what you're looking for, Bonte. Yeah, you said you're missing athleticism, you're missing size, you're missing aggressiveness, a guy who can go one-on-one. That whole package is Jonathan Kuminga. And after missing the last month with DMP's coach's decision, it's really impressive that he stayed prepared, stayed ready. That's what a true professional does. And when his number was called today, after everything, all the hoopla and everything surrounding him, he stayed focused. You haven't really heard Jonathan Kuminga speak. All you do is see him get on the court tonight, and he was able to show it, getting to the rim, playing with his teammates, bringing energy to this building that was dead in the first half. I thought Jonathan Kuminga played an incredible game. One of the reasons why this team was able to make that comeback and actually really got this building excited, thinking they were going to win this game.
First of all, an impressive performance by Jonathan Kuminga. The efficiency numbers at 20 points. He's obviously been working out and keeping himself in tip-top shape, which is the professional way to go about things. But I'm just super impressed with his approach. The ability to stay focused during adverse times. First half, he only played 5 minutes. Went to the halftime, came back, had an incredible second half. So all the praise that we give Buddy Hield, which is well-deserved, the same exact praise Jonathan Kuminga deserves.
You know, you hear a lot that he doesn't fit with the roster. He doesn't fit. He can't play this style. But yet we continue to show glimpses and stats that back up that, hey, that's a big misnomer. He actually does fit when you give him an opportunity. A couple years ago, we saw it when he averaged 18, 5, and 3 over the last 34, went 11-11, and tied your record, Willie, for the most field goals without a miss. Last season, we saw it, Fezzi, before the ankle injury. Then he doesn't play, and he balls out in the second round of the playoffs, and people dismiss that like, hey, whatever, second round of the playoffs in the Western Conference. Doesn't matter. 54% from the floor, 42 against the top defense in the league.
It's one of the toughest and one of the biggest anomalies of the season so far, Bonte. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. This is the best athlete on the team. He has incredible size, incredible versatility defensively, especially, something that you can't teach. And for him to be in the position he's in right now, I can't explain it to you, but what I will say is what I saw tonight was him in tip-top shape.
Yep.
He has been obviously working out, getting ready for this moment, and he was moving so well. When you watch everybody else, the speed of the game changed in the Warriors' favor when Jonathan got on the floor. What he was doing defensively, running the floor, catching lobs, getting rebounds over big men on the other team. We talked about Scottie Barnes getting a triple-double, 25 rebounds last game. You can pull up a few clips of the ball going up and JK jumping over Scottie Barnes and the big man on the other team to go get a rebound. This is what you need from your guy. And with Jimmy Butler out, hopefully he continues to get more minutes and they find a way to fit him into the system that you say he doesn't fit it.
Bully, you know what? He's 23 years old, and you hear all this hoopla about immaturity and whether he's a malcontent. We've gotten none of that vibe from Jonathan Kaminga at all here. So the maturity for a 23-year-old, staying ready, staying professional, and having a game like this after 16 DNPs, people act like that's easy to do.
No, not at all. And we've seen this time and time again. He answers the call of duty. We saw it last year in the playoffs against Minnesota after he sat out those games and put up some big numbers and played very well. And Festus, you would know, coming from another country, making that adjustment. And Bonte, you know this, and Fezzi, I recruited Jonathan to come to St. John's when I was coaching in college. So that was probably 7, 8 years ago. So what, 15, 16, whoever he was. I'm not quite sure exactly how old he was at the time. The entire time, class, humble, polite, just a beautiful guy to be around. So, look, basketball's, it's a lot of pressure, and you got to win, and this team in particular wants to win now. I get that. But never once have I ever seen anything but a nice guy, great conduct, like I said, polite, humble. And I think nights like this, this is what we're talking about the basketball court, right? First and foremost, we've seen him play at the highest level. And Festus mentioned it, matching up with elite athletes. NBA has probably the most elite athletes in the world, and he's at the top of the list. Scottie Barnes is one of those guys. Not only was he guarding him one-on-one, later in the game, Toronto was sending a double team to him.
Yep.
Think about that. He hasn't played in 16 games, and in 9-10 minutes, they're double teaming him. Who does that sound like? That sounds a little bit like Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
So sometimes the fit, you have to move the piece, and Steve's done a good job of that this year. Rotations and things like that. So if you're telling me there's no fit for him on this team, then I'm watching a totally different game than everybody else.
No doubt about that. Well said, Mully and Fezzi. We're going to continue to roll here on Toyota Warriors Postgame Live. We'll hear from Steve Kerr on the other side and check out some highlights. We got a lot coming up here on Toyota Warriors Postgame Live as the Warriors end this homestand 6-2.